It was a night that we just thought we were out to have fun.
Inside prison, Lawrence Bartley spoke frankly about what landed him there.
I fired a weapon that day. A little boy was shot.
Detectives say there were at least a dozen shots.
It was a deadly gunfight in a crowded theater.
When I was being sentenced, his father got on the stand. That was his buddy. I took his buddy away from him. Me?
He shared his story under a project called Voices from Within, featuring the incarcerated trying to steer young people away from landing behind bars.
Does this still feel strange? No guards.
It's like breathing free air.
Today, free on parole after 27 years, Lawrence still has a lot to say, this time in a magazine for those still inside.
Are you asking anything of the public here, or is this you finding a way to reach back to these guys?
That's it. I'm just finding a way to reach back. I want them to believe that they can do it because they feel that they are valuable, they feel that they're powerful in their own right, and they could do positive things by themselves. All right, this letter to my readers.
After landing a job at the Marshall Project, he created News Inside, a magazine for incarcerated readers, curating work written by the nonprofit staff.
So what is it that you're hoping to provide to prisoners that read this magazine?
So I want to invite some positive feeling with News Inside by giving them hope.
Today, the magazine is in over 300 facilities in 37 states and D.C., featuring stories about the justice system. Everything from reentry programs to Shakespeare in prison.
So I made sure News Inside, even down to the way it's binded, won't raise any alarms. And every story is not any story that's going to incite unrest, nothing inflammatory.
What Lawrence has allowed the Marshall Project to do is to reach this group of people who are completely cut off from news that's relevant to them.
What's up, man?
Back at his former prison, a grateful audience, not forgotten by someone who's been there and back.
Because every time I do my job, I think of you guys.
You can't restore the life that you were convicted of taking, but do you feel that perhaps you've saved a life, or more than one life, through this program?
I hope I did. You know, I don't want to be I don't want to be so full of myself to think that I have the power to do that, but I really
that's the hope.
I did. That's the hope. That's the hope that I did. I miss you, man.
Miss you too, boy. I see you too.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.